Hello, and welcome to my painting session for the day. Today I wanted to talk about a scary topic for new artists. The topic is, what do you do when you aren't happy with your painting? Oftentimes, as a new artist, people would constantly tell me how much they liked my art. This was mostly family and friends, and while this support was helpful, it never helped when I felt like I could have done better with a painting. Most of the time when you watch videos on this platform and many others, artists will say, always finish a painting, don't judge your art too harshly. However, it's hard to do that when you're still developing basic art skills. When I started painting, and I didn't like one of my finished pieces, I always had a pretty tough time with what to do with them. Sometimes, I truly was just being too harsh on myself, and I would give it away to a family member as a gift, just to clear out some space in my art room. However, most of the time, when I thought that my art was truly not what I wanted it to be, I would just throw it away. I think at the time, I just didn't know what to do with them. I didn't know how to fix something, or how to repurpose an old painting to make it different or more exciting. My skill just hadn't developed enough yet to give me that confidence to fix something that was old and that I wasn't getting joy from looking at. As I started painting more, I learned how to adapt mid-painting. But even now, in many of my finished paintings, I can think of something I would have done differently. This is really what I wanted to talk about and pass on to you all today. I want to help each of you overcome those hurdles to get to a place of confidence with changing your art. Because overall, I think that while it's good to be critical and want to improve your skill or my skill, it's good to focus on specific things that we can improve. Perspective, color, composition, and how we as artists adapt to challenges throughout a painting. One of the things you can do, if you aren't quite happy with a painting, the initial step really, is to take a step back and look at the painting from far away. 6-7 feet should be enough, depending on the size of your painting. This simplifies what you're working on and can inform you on what to fix. Also, you can take a break and leave the room for a while. Taking a break and taking your mental energy out of your painting will reset what you're looking at in your mind, so when you come back, you can look at it with fresh eyes. This is something I wish I had done in this painting. While looking at the painting on the screen of my phone was helpful because it gave me a miniature version of my painting, it didn't really give me enough time to have fresh eyes on it. So this is about when the challenges started for my painting. I was about halfway through, I finished the sky, and I was really happy with it. I thought it was moody and epic, but also beautiful. And one of the things you can't see as well in this video is the reds and purples that come out in that darker cloud on the right. So it was right around here when I had to figure out what I'm going to put underneath the sky. And instead of taking my time and looking at it, I jumped right in. So I had decided on a landscape with a few bright fields littered through. I had just made a painting with fields like that, so it was something I felt comfortable with. However, almost immediately after I started, I wasn't happy with how I had mixed my green. I thought that it was too light for the sky that I had painted. Instead of stepping back and mixing a darker green, or even wiping back, I tried to continue and fix it as I went. This is where my second major tip comes in. After constantly being willing to reevaluate your art, stepping back and looking at it, the next step is to chuck more paint on or wipe more paint off, even if you think it's going to ruin your painting. Oftentimes, it won't ruin your paintings, and the texture and colors that it can leave on a painting will give you the impression of a distant hill or a light spot where the sun is catching on a field. This can turn something you're having trouble with into something that changes the painting for the better. If you chuck more paint on, you can change the perspective and make the distance closer to yourself. If you put large gobs of green right on the horizon, they'll start to look like trees that are very close to you. And the next challenge that I encountered in this painting was my perspective. The background wasn't mixing with the sky the way that I wanted it to. It was just leaving kind of a smudged green color, and adding a thin strip of white to the horizon didn't quite fix it. So again, I was fiddling, trying to make the best of what I had. Then I decided to try to fix perspective in the foreground. This is actually why I started using those diagonal lines for a tree line. I wanted it to look like a square field that you're looking at with two lines of trees, or three lines of trees really, encapsulating the field. Two coming in towards the center of the painting, and then one thin one laying out right in the middle. Because I thought that a clump of trees in there would look pretty interesting, having it kind of gazing up at the sky, so that the subject of the painting would be those trees. But instead of doing that, it effectively blocked my painting into a weird set of shapes. I have this really nice sprawling sky, and then I have a very blocky landscape littered with trees in a way where the perspective feels off. So again, I didn't take my first bit of advice and take a step back and look at the painting for a little while and decide what needed to be fixed. Instead, I just focused on trudging along and trying to make this painting out of what I had in front of me. Since I didn't loosen up and make a big change at this point, I am probably going to have to come back to this painting at some point and really make some big changes, and you'll see that in just a minute. Before we get to the big change, though, I do have a few housekeeping items. First, if you have made it to this point in the video, thank you. I appreciate your view, and I hope that it's been informative for you so far. If you like what I'm doing, please leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get a notification. All of those things are really helpful as I'm trying to get this channel up and running. I'm also very open to interaction, to hearing, if you're a beginner painter and beginner artist, what you would like to learn, what things challenge you about landscapes, what things scare you, what has been difficult in your learning process or in your mental preparation for painting. Please feel free, put a comment down at the bottom, and I will happily make a video addressing whatever concerns you have. However, now we are getting back to the final bit of advice I can give you if you're not happy with something in your painting. Wipe it off. Add some more color on it, but really just take as much paint off as you can and start over. After I stepped back from this painting, finally, I realized that it wasn't a landscape at all. It was destined to be a seascape. I made appropriate changes and set up the canvas to become a stellar seascape in my next painting session. I really appreciate you sticking around with me, and I hope that seeing this drastic change has given you a little bit more confidence to make big changes in your art. I will see you in the next painting session to show you how to take this and make a stellar seascape out of the bottom half of this painting. Thanks so much again for viewing, and I will see you in the next video.